Hey guys, what's up? It's me, E, with another Clash Royale video. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather, so my voice is probably a little wonky. But got some good stuff for you today. So, first of all, check out this deck I'm using. It does use the Miner, and I don't have a good replacement for it. So if you don't have that legendary, I'm sorry. But Furnace, Inferno Tower, Miner Log, Zap Hog Rider, Minion of the Mega Variety, and the Skarmy. So you can get a lot of really good pushes. You can get some good chip damage in with the Miner. But really, guys, the Miner Hog Rider or the Miner Mega Minion, or even the Furnace Fire plus Hog Rider is awesome. I'll show you how it did. Again, in Classic Challenge, we went 12-0 again. Am I bragging? A little bit. Really excited about this deck. Believe me, I had plenty of losses before that, trying out different decks. But this one just did really, really well. So we'll go ahead and open up this chest to see what we got. We're going to hope there's a new legendary out today. Or sorry, not legendary, new card. It's an epic. It's an epic. Do you guys know what that is? The Tornado. The Tornado. And I've seen some gameplay on Nick at Night, Clash, and Chief Pat. And I've played against it a few times, and I'm not super impressed. Not super impressed. But let's go ahead and open this up. See what we got. Come on, Tornado. No Tornado, but that's okay. At this point, when my opponent plays a Tornado, I kind of want to just say thanks, because that's 3 elixir that I don't have to worry about now. And if we jump back and look at some of our matches, you'll see, let's see if we can find one earlier with the Tornado. I don't even know what that dude was doing. I think people are still just trying to figure out, what the Tornado's place is. You can see I had some defeats there with a Royal GG deck I was trying out. Let's actually take a look at this Three Musketeer match, because that one was pretty good. So I was pretty fortunate in most of those 12. I should mention my starting rotation was pretty nice. I started off with a Furnace in a lot of them, and if I didn't start off with the Furnace, I at least had the Inferno Tower. Starting off with those two is really good. So he puts down an NEC, which usually means Three Musketeers or some kind of P.E.K.K.A deck, but that's cool. So he's got the bowler coming down. I've got the Hog Rider. I'm going to start pushing the other lane because that right lane is basically bust. We're going to get our Miner up in there to beat down. And look, he sucks the Hog Rider in with the Tornado, and I guess it did a little damage, but it was otherwise grossly ineffective. Props to Murph for trying it out. But yeah, so anyway, our Mega Minion did work on the right-hand side, cleaning up that bowler, and now we're going to drop our Skarmy on this Prince just to clean that up, because I like to keep my Furnace, and it's near full health. If it had been lower on health, I probably wouldn't have, but well-placed bowler by him, but it does chew up all of his elixir. We have a huge elixir advantage right now. We're 1,000 damage in on the tower, 600 damage in on the other tower, so he's... or 1,500 damage on one. So he's in some trouble. So probably going to take out that Princess with our Miner. I can't believe I didn't do that. I don't know why I didn't do that. I feel like I wasted elixir there. He's going to use that Tornado again, which is really cool. I like the animation. But his tower's still going to drop down to 100. And he still has not yet touched our towers. I think his deck is just crazy expensive. You look at what he's got. He's got... his cheapest card was 5. So he's going to drop 3 Musketeers. Normally I freak out about them a little bit because this deck isn't great against them, but they are split, and I do have a Furnace down. So, I'm going to drop Mega Minion on one side and maybe Zap, and even better, and then we're just going to drop our Skeleton Army, and that's going to clean up those other 2 Musketeers and the Prince. I'd hope that log would hit the Princess, but no such luck. I don't even know what that is. He's creating a Fire Twister, maybe? I don't know. I'm just going to push the other lane just to finish off that tower, and then just do kind of damage control over here on the right. And that's pretty much going to wrap up the game. So another 3 Musketeers, which is, cool. Fortunately, my Mega Minion was there. We're going to zap. Oh, zap, log, and that took care of all of it. 2 princesses and 2 musketeers. There's another tornado. Again, I think there's probably something really cool you can do with it, but right now it's, dude's just wasting 3 elixir. And that pretty much wraps up the game. I mean, I could commentate on it, but the tornado, it's a fun card. It has a really nice graphic, but it doesn't kill anything really. I think it kills goblins, and that's it at max level. It doesn't kill minions. It doesn't kill. It might kill fire spirits, but for 3 elixir, I feel like there's probably a better play. So anyway. If you are interested in trying out a deck that's a lot of fun, you can see I went up against a Royal Giant. I went up against a very similar Mirror Chip deck, but with lightning. Went up against a lot of Golem decks. This deck does really well against Golems. Anyway, feel free to check it out. It's a fun deck. Again, the main purpose of this deck, the main way that you win with this deck is getting your Miner and your Hogrider on your opponent's tower. So don't be afraid to split lanes with this deck. Don't be afraid to push the other lane and try and get a 2-lane push, maybe with a Mega Minion and Miner on one side and a Furnace and Hogrider on the other, forcing your opponent to split his defenses. I think I actually had a pretty good example of that in this last match. So here we are, we're going up against Eric 510 from Oakland Fib. And again, starting off Furnace, that's great. His Hogrider's coming in, we're going to counter with a Mega Minion. I'm prepared for a freeze. I was ready to drop the Skarmy in case he had a freeze, but he didn't. So with that, I'm like, well, let's get a push going. So you can see we've got what I just talked about. We've got Hogrider going down one lane. We're going to zap and clean that up. And the Mega Minion and our Miner on the other tower. So did some work to both of his towers. He had pretty good counters. I felt that he did pretty well there. Only a level 5 Mega Minion, so I wasn't worried about taking a hit from it. I'd rather have the elixir. So that kept us with an elixir advantage, even though it looks like we're down on tower damage. Total tower damage, we're about even, but I felt so in control of this match. That's basically a wasted Skarmy. I think he just didn't know what else to do. We'll just clean that up there with a log. No sense in taking any hits. I'm wasting elixir here, but I do put down my Inferno Tower, and that's going to catch both the Mega Minion and the Hogrider. So I'm going to go ahead and work on a push over here on the right. So now that that's cleaned up, let's get our Miner up there, Hogrider with the Furnace Fire Spirits coming in. That's going to clean up most of that. I had my Zap ready because I knew that's what he was going to defend with that Skeleton Army. So not sure how useful that was, but his tower does go down. And at this point, I'm content to kind of chip away at that second tower just in case I need to. But pretty much this game is under wraps. So we've got Mega Minions facing off, but I've got a Furnace coming down in the back. He's gonna rocket that. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop down an Inferno Tower, predicting his Hog. And you can see he had his Hog queued up. He was gonna use it, and then he's like, "Well, crap! Now what do I do?" And look at that! Look at that! That was just perfect zap. I was prepared for it. I was gonna zap his Skarmy, and I happened to play my Hogrider, and he definitely got the raw end of that deal. And there it is again. So I think a log will just, touch that up, and we'll throw down another Furnace just to get a building out to, at 869, I got to be careful because that rocket, if he gets just a little bit more chip damage, he would be able to take it out with a rocket. But we're going to get his tower down to 1134, 1070. He's going to get another rocket in, and we've got an Inferno Tower, so that Hogrider's never going to make it. And that's going to clean that match up for a pretty nice 2-1 win over Eric 5-10, so good game to him. He played well, but in the end, this deck just has some really good counters. I had a really close match. Minion Horde actually was kind of a challenge for me. If you don't have your Furnace on the right side, that can be a problematic card to deal with. But overall, loving the deck, and hopefully I'll feel better, so keep on clashing.